Okay, welcome back, everybody. Today we want to see how do we complete the employee full-time and part-time object-oriented um assignment. So we have this employee class constructor created, which takes one employee name as a string and one bonus as a double, and then it has a child class which is full-time, which is its child class, and a part-time which is also its child class. So let's now go ahead and create the constructors for full-time. So as we know, this is the class name. The constructor will carry the same name, so public full-time, that's the name it carries, and it will now here um, basically it will take arguments, additional arguments, and it will also take some arguments which it will give to the base class, which we've seen in the PowerPoint before. So I'm going to do that. The full-time employee, as we all know, contains the additional arguments, which are basic pay and status, and also what the employee contains. The employee contains employee name and bonus, so I'm gonna write that too over here. String employee name, string double bonus, and then double basic pay, and then string status. So this basic pay and status are from the child class, the full-time employee, and this employee name and bonus is from the super class. So I'm gonna write here base and pass on these employee name and bonus to the base, meaning the upper class, the super class, the parent class. Employee name comma bonus. Okay, I pass that on to the upper class, the super class, and the super class we all know is employee, and it will be happy. Now when I do that copying, I'll only do the copying for basic pay and status, because that's the specialty of this class full-time. So I'm gonna say this dot basic pay is equal to this basic pay which was just passed on as a parameter, basic pay, and then this dot status is equal to the status which was passed on as a parameter or argument, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we got these four parameters. Two of them we passed on to the base, which is the parent class, the employee, and two of them we used and we just copied with us. So please note, if it is not basic pay, let's say if it's basic pay 2, you can always give this different name, basic pay 2, and then you can say assign basic pay 2 to basic pay, and then it's okay. But if you have similar names, your names are similar as whatever has been passed on as an argument, then you should be using this here. Otherwise the code will get confused. Which basic pay are you talking about? Okay, so let's save that and let's do something very similar with the part-time. We know the part-time employee is also a child class of the employee class. It should also contain those two attributes from the employee class, which are these employee name and bonus, and it should also have these additional hourly work, right? The constructor should have that. So I'm gonna create the constructor public part-time excuse me, and then string employee name. You can also have different name, let's say string e name or emp name, double what was it bonus, and then hours worked. I'm gonna say double hours worked, and I'm gonna just change this to just show how we do this without this, double hourly rate and when I do that, I pass that on to the base class, which is our employee, which is expecting us to give it employee emp name comma bonus. So let's start this constructor, start and end. When it starts, it copies these hours worked and hours rate. So hours worked is equal to HRS worked. So now you don't use this because you are not having exactly the same variable names in the parameter and as the class member. So hourly rate is equal to hour rate. Okay, so now we create the constructor of this also. Now the constructor is created of the employee, the base class, the full-time employee, the child class, and also the part-time employee, the child class. Now we need to calculate the salary. To calculate the salary there are two different calculation. We need to see if it's a if the status is single. So I'm gonna check first of all, if status is single, then do something, otherwise do something else. So how do I do that? If status is equal to let's say S means single, else otherwise it's married, bracket open, bracket close, then married employee, and this one is single employee calculation. We'll do married employee calculation here and single employee calculation here. Okay, now if it's full-time, this will be done. Now if it's part-time, what happens? We go to part-time. Part-time is very straightforward. There is a there should be salary calculated. So what we will do, we will say we will return something. So let's say calculate salary, we'll return or double. It will calculate salary and will return double. Full-time also will calculate salary and will return that salary. Part-time also will also calculate salary and return the salary. So let's do the calculation. We'll say double a variable salary is equal to hours worked multiplied by hourly rate and plus bonus is what it should do. So when you write bonus, it will not get what this means. So what you should do is you should base dot bonus is what we need. So the base has bonus, so let's write here public and public, so it goes to the child also. So I'm gonna write here base dot bonus. So whatever the bonus was for the base class, the parent class, we got that. And now once we have done the calculation, we say return salary. So this bonus is visible to the child class if it is made public here. If it is not made public, by default it's something very close to protected. So if you want to make it visible to the child class, we made it public so the children can also see employee name and also employee bonus. So we just did that, the calculation of employee salary. It says it's okay, let's finish the full-time part. So if it's full-time, here's a basic pay, and he has different calculation for single. So let me just quickly open Word. What was the different calculation? Okay, the salary is equal to basic pay plus bonus for employee who is single. For married, basic pay plus 1000 bonus. Plus bonus plus 1000. Okay, so additional to bonus, additional 1000 is there for the married employee. So let's do basic pay plus bonus. So if he's single, double salary is equal to basic pay plus bonus and return salary. So we will give back, or we will return salary, this amount, whoever is calling this method. However, if it is married, double salary, why do we declare this again? Because this variable started within if and closed within if, and it died within if, so we don't have to we cannot remember it outside this if. It is within this block, and outside this block it does not exist. So that's why we have to create this another. Double salary is equal to basic pay plus bonus what bonus this is basically the same base dot bonus. You can say base dot bonus or just bonus. It means the same thing. It is coming from the parent class. So basic plus bonus plus 1000. That's what happens when he's married. And then we return salary. Okay, so if he's single, then he returns this calculation. If he's married, then he does this calculation, and that's all. Now we need to create we need to make this working, you see. So let's go back to the form we designed, make sure everything is saved, calculate salary. So if his radio button, so what we do is we read these values. This is supposed to be S, otherwise it will do this, etc. So what we need to do, if he's full-time, we need to construct a full-time employee. So we'll say full-time employee, create new full-time employee object, calculate salary of full-time employee. If he's part-time, we'll do something very, very similar. After reading the values, create, what happened there? Okay, we need to write this. Create part-time employee object, calculate salary of part-time employee. Okay, let's create the object. Full-time FT or FT obj full-time object is equal to new full-time object. So now when I create this, I need to give it employee name, which I got from here, emp name, and I also need to give it bonus, which I got from the form, and I also need to give it basic pay, which I just read here, basic pay, this double basic pay, and also status. So I created the object now, and then I can say ft obj dot calculate salary. Make sure it's public so we can access it outside that class. It's protected. I don't know what I did make it protected. Let's make it public on part-time also public. Okay, let's save all, go to form design, ftobj dot calculate salary, and it should give me back the salary. So I'll say double salary is equal to whatever this calculates, because calculate salary, if you click on this, it will say if this is full-time object, and calculate salary will give me back the double. That's what it is saying. So salary, now we got the salary, and what we need to do is just to display that in the label, this label. Okay, so you can see its properties here. What are its name? What is the name? Its name is result txt. So let's go to the design, and I'm gonna say result txt dot text is equal to salary. And so now you convert this to a string. The easiest way is you just add an empty string to it, it will automatically convert. Excuse me. However, if it is not a full-time, he's a part-time guy, so we need to convert, we need to, this one calculation we need to do just below this comment so we can know where is everything happening. So create part-time, so let's do that. Part-time pt object is equal to new part-time, and we need to give it emp name, which we have read up over there just before the if started. Emp employee name, bonus also we have read, employee name bonus, okay. And what else? Because he's a part-time, he should also get the same basic pay. There is a basic pay, sorry, there is hours worked. He's part-time, so we have hours worked, and multiply by hourly rate also is there, so we say hourly rate. Okay, these are the two values we have read already from the interface. So we created the object. Now we need to calculate here double pt object dot calculate salary. Oh sorry, double salary is equal to pt object dot calculate salary, and it's a function. So once it calculates salary and gives me back the salary, I'll say result txt dot text is equal to salary plus, meaning just display on the result. So I got this there. Now if it's full time then this, as part time then this. Now within full time it will go and check if his status is single. You see, within full time he's doing this. If the status is single then there's a different salary, if it's married then there's different salary. And part time's calculation is just straightforward. Let's try running this, save everything, run this. Now you can do this without object oriented programming also, but the difference between CIS 1403 and this is now we are doing object oriented programming. We are calculating objects for full-time employee or part-time employee. Okay, there's errors. Let's see what are the errors first. Employee salary. Okay, employee salary. We should, yeah, it's double, so we should return something. So let's return 0 because the employee is not doing any calculation. The calculation is done in the below classes. So I'm gonna change that now. I'm gonna show you something after this. Okay, so let's do the running. Okay, employee name, let's say employee name is Asma, bonus is 5,000 and she's a full-time employee. Basic pay is 10,000 and status is S, which means single, so you should not get any additional 1,000. So according to our calculation, basic pay plus bonus 15,000, calculate salary. Okay, we got basic pay plus bonus 15,000. But if it is not S, let's say this she's married and I pressed here M, then we should get 16,000 here because Asma is married. She has basic pay 10,000, bonus is 5,000, and there is additional 1,000 for all married employees. So I'm going to click on calculate and I get 16,000. Excellent. However, if it's a part-time employee, there's additional 5,000 as a bonus. Hourly rate is, let's say we call 1,000 and hours worked is 10 to make it simple. So 10,000 should be the salary plus bonus 16,000, or I'm gonna just make a change so that we don't get the same result. Let's say 9 hours worked, which should be 9,000 plus 5,000 bonus. 14,000 should be the result. So now we are getting the results as expected. Okay, that's great. Now let's go back and let me show you one thing. Why did I write here return 0? Basically because there's no code being done over here. That's why employees calculate salary is there's no code over here. So shouldn't it be abstract? Yes, so that's why we have abstract classes, because we force the clients to do the children to do the implementation, the child classes. So I close this method here and I declare this as abstract. Yes, it's an abstract double class, and I need to declare the class also as abstract. So the abstract class has a abstract method. What does it say now? A namespace cannot directly contain members such as fields or methods. Yeah, abstract class. It's not class of abstract class. Employee has an abstract method which is calculate salary. So let's run this. Let's save this. And what's the problem here? It says employee salary. Implement inherit abstract member. Yes, it does. So public calculate salary should be override, and part-time also is actually implementing the abstract method, so it should be override. So basically whatever abstract methods from the parent class you're implementing, Visual C# asks us to declare them as override. So I'm implementing the abstract method which is calculate salary, so I should declare it as override, meaning I'm overriding that method. So now the C# will be happy. So now you know why we have abstract classes, because we don't want their objects to be instantiated, but we want them to have child classes, and then the child classes can have objects, because the implementation of abstract functions is done in the child classes. Like here, the implementation that is done of calculate salary here in full time and also in part time, but not in the parent. Okay, so you can see now this is Ali, his bonus is 500 and he's a part-time employee, rate is 100, hours work is 3, calculate salary 300 plus 500, 800. That's full-time employee, basic pay is 500, bonus is also 500, status is M, so it should be 1000 and plus, because he's married, 1000, 2000. Yeah, but if it's S then 1000. Okay, that's pretty much for all. Thank you very much for watching.